I'm Ann and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing part 2 of the You Choose My TBR. So in part 1 you gave me prompts in the comments, and today I'm going to choose books for my June TBR based on those prompts. But first I want to share with you there are 2 books that are automatically going on my TBR this month. I thought about just sticking them on the shelf and then making sure I had prompts that fit those 2 books, but that seemed just slightly dishonest, so I'm just going to tell you up front. The first is Wives and Daughters by Elizabeth Gaskell. I'm buddy reading this with my friend Grace this month. She has a Bookstagram account that you should be following. If you're not, she's at Ponderings from the Pages. I'll link that down below, but you should definitely go check out her Bookstagram. But I will be reading that with her this month. And then I'm also planning on reading Brandon Sanderson's Hero of Ages because I'm just finishing up the Well of Ascension and I want to move on to this one. So these 2 books are automatically going on my June TBR, but the rest of my June TBR I will let you guys choose. So let's get to that. Okay, here we go. So I've got my computer here so I can read your comments. It looks like I have about 17 comments, so I will not use all of those prompts. So if I don't use yours, I apologize. Don't take it personally. We're just going to go through and see what we come up with. And the first one I see is from EW. She says, this June is the 75th anniversary of the D-Day landing. Perhaps you have a book involving World War II. Do I have a book involving World War II? I do. In fact, I have several. Let's pick one. Okay, so I have several books involving World War II, including All the Light We Cannot See and Lilac Girls, both of which I really should read. But this is the one I'm going to pull because this sounds really interesting to me right now. It's by Diane Ackerman and it's The Zookeepers Wife. And I believe it's about, I think it's based on a true story. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. About zookeepers who, I believed hid Jews or helped Jews escape from Nazi Germany or Poland. Yeah, but it has to do with World War II. So we're going to go with that. Okay, the next prompt I'm seeing is from Jessica E. Thomas, and she says a book that involves water. I think I know just the perfect one. Okay, again, we're going to go with some historical fiction. This is The Light Between Oceans by M.L. Stedman. This has to do with, I think, a pair of lightkeepers who find a baby washed up on their island, or yeah, I don't know that much, but I know it's gotten a lot of good reviews. I've had friends that have read it that have liked it, and it definitely has to do with water since they're lighthouse keepers. So we're going to go with that. Okay, next I see Books and Jams, and she says pick a book with a one-word title. Again, I know I have several of those, so let's take a look. Okay, right off the bat, I see Atonement, but I don't think I'm quite in the mood to read that this month. Let's keep looking. Possession, I also don't think I'm quite in the mood for that. I don't know. Those both seem a little heavy. And it's June. I'm not sure I'm up for heavy. Oh, let's go with this. Snobs by, oops, can you see that? By Julian Fellows. I believe this is a English, like a British, like an upstairs downstairs type, you know, the wealthy and the servant class type book. So that sounds like a good June read. We'll go with that. Okay, Tia at Tia and All the Books suggests a book that has been on my shelf the longest. I'm not sure I know what that is, but we'll find something close at least. Okay, this is close if not it. This is Michael Phillips, A Rift in Time. Michael Phillips was one of my favorite authors when I was in high school. He wrote a lot of historical fiction, and I read his books over and over and over again. Somehow I never got to this one. I think because it's not historical fiction, so maybe I was more intimidated by it, or I don't know. For some reason I never picked it up, and it's been sitting there. Probably since high school or close to it. And this, I believe, has to do with, like, it's an adventure, like, archaeology, kind of Indiana Jones-esque type story, which sounds amazing, so I don't know why I never picked it up. But we'll try that this month. Literary Labors suggests a book with a word in the title that has a scent. For example, The Gingerbread Man, Flowers for Algernon, etc. A word with a scent. I like that. Creative. Oh, perfect. This is The Peach Keeper by Sarah Addison Allen. Peaches definitely have a scent, and Sarah Addison Allen is perfect for springtime or June. This will be a nice, light, romantic contemporary with a little bit of magical realism in it. Perfect. Turn the Page suggests a book published the year I was born, or if you don't have one, the decade you were born. So I was born in 1980. I really doubt I have a book published in 1980, but I'm sure I have something published in the 80s. So we'll see what I can find. Let's use this. This was published in 1986. This is The Light Fantastic by Terry Pratchett. My goal this year was to read Terry Pratchett and to read like one a month. And so far I've read one. So this is the next one, and that's perfect. So we'll continue on with some Terry Pratchett this month. Alright, we're going to go for one more book and then be done. Okay, Lady King 119 says something to do with summer. One of these items on a book or in the title, a beach, boardwalk, or a beautiful blue book. I like that. I'm not sure I have anything with a beach on it, though. I don't read a lot of contemporary, which is what I picture when I hear beach. I have some blue books. This is a pretty blue. Let's see. Beach, boardwalk. Those are mountains. Oh, middle grade. Duh. Let's go with this one. So this is The Island of Adventure by Enid Blyton. You can see there's beach in the background, and they're kind of climbing on the rocks around the beach. And this is middle grade, like, adventure. I've never read this series. I've read Enid Blyton before. I've read her The Faraway Tree. That's it. The Faraway Tree books, which I loved. I grew up with those. But I've never read her other stuff. So I have the first few in this series, and now this seems like the perfect time. Beginning of summer, kids going off on an adventure to an island. Sounds perfect, right? So we're going to go with that. Island of Adventure by Enid Blyton. Alright, thank you guys for giving me so many prompts. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all of them. But what I'll do is if I actually read through my entire TBR, I'll pull a couple more prompts and pull a couple more books off my shelf using the prompts. And I'll do this again. I won't do it every month, but I will do this again because it's been fun. But yeah, thank you for your input and helping me choose my TBR. And this way, if I really don't like a book, I can blame you, which works great. So here is my final June TBR. I may not get to all of these, but we'll try and see what happens. And I'll be vlogging and keeping you updated with how all that is going. So thanks again.